Hi guys, today's look is inspired by the Victoria's Secret fashion show that aired this week. From year to year, I think there are always a few constants with Victoria's Secret makeup in general. There are a few things about this year's makeup that I really feel like set it apart from the other years. Of course, they were bronzed and beautiful as usual. Some of them it was more toned down, but on a few of the girls, it really looked like almost liquid gold right there under their tear duct, and I thought that was so pretty. Something a little different than just an illuminated inner corner, so I really wanted to go for that look. And I also think that the makeup was very almost angelic in a way. Of course, Victoria's Secret angels, you know, that makes sense, but a lot of times you'll see them looking more like vixens. This year, they really went all out on the kind of angelic girl next door appearance. And there's a couple things that you can do with your blush, ways to apply it that will really help you get that beautiful young flush to your cheeks. And it's really easy to do, so if you want to see how I did it, keep watching. I'm going to line my lower waterline with a pink pencil. It's actually a highlighting pencil. I use this all the time. This is just another one of the many uses for the Benefit Eye Bright, and you can't even see the writing on mine anymore. It is literally so tiny now. So I'm just lining my lower waterline with that product. I really like it because it's pink. I think it's a lot more natural than a stark white. I'm using MAC's cream color base in the color Pearl, and it looks like that. And it's just a really pretty reflective gold. It's so sticky, so it's really going to be able to hold that gold color onto your inner tear duct. But it's mostly focused, you can see on the other eye right underneath the tear duct. And then you can take some of it underneath your lower lash line right here. I'm using a flat brush for this, by the way. It's the 159 liner chisel fluff brush from Coastal Scents. Feather some of that color up onto the lid. You don't want to take it too far up onto the crease. And of course, I totally forgot this step. You should definitely do this before you apply your cream color base that I just showed. I took a little bit of Painterly Paint Pot and I just smoothed that all over my brow bone area, and you just want to focus that in the top part of your lid space. Next step you want to do, I'm just using that exact same brush. I'm going to wipe it off a little bit, and I'm going to take a pigment, and it's the MAC pigment in Golden Lemon. Any shimmery shadow that's kind of like a yellow like this will work too. Taking some of that pigment just on the end of my brush and pressing it very lightly right into the area underneath my tear duct. And just pressing it there. So see how it really becomes a really pretty gold. If you took another lighter golden shadow and layered it on top of this cream color base, the color wouldn't really change much. You're just going to get this kind of a color. And I was going for like a 14 karat gold look. A little bit more of that pigment and just brushing it, tapping it kind of all over my lid. I don't really want it to be a bright yellow golden lid, but I do want it to match a little bit. Brushing around the edges of the pigment just to blend it out. I'm going to do my highlight really quickly. This is Dazzle Light, and it's a pinkish gold, depending on what light you're standing in. It's really pretty. On a flat brush, I'm going to place that under my brow for a highlight, and then taking a little bit more and patting it on my lid over top of that pigment. It's going to take that pigment color and kind of blend it in with the rest of your lid, and so that it's really more noticeable in the tear duct area, but it still kind of matches the rest of the look, if that makes sense. Now all you're going to need for this is any fluffy blending brush, and you can use a bronzer. I'm using one of my favorite tan eyeshadows from MAC. This one is Texture, and it's just a tan color. It's a really pretty, it has some shimmer to it. I'm taking that and almost in a rounded motion. Now this looks a little intense until you have your mascara on, your lashes on and stuff, but it's kind of just a sweep of bronze, and as you can see, I'm making a rounded motion back and forth like that, and then however you want to wing it out at the sides, you can do that. You can either feather it out, or you can circle it out and just kind of sweep it outwards, but I really took it pretty far out on my left eye, and I'm bringing it pretty far in too. You can pull it down a little bit onto your lid, on mostly the outer corner. You can use any darker warm brown, really will work perfectly fine. This one's Espresso by MAC, and it's a darker brown. You can see it's kind of a cocoa color, or an espresso color, I guess. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my blending brush, literally just lightly brushing my brush back and forth under that brow bone. I'm making a little circle in the outer corner. To blend that out, you're going to take some more of the first color, Texture. By doing this, we're kind of camouflaging our crease color. We know it's there, and it definitely gives us a little bit of more dimension in the eye area, but it's not going to be like really noticeable or dark or anything like that. Clean blending brush, I'm just wiping off the brush I just used. Just kind of lightly sweep around the edges of that, blend it out a little bit. And before I forget, I'm going to take some more of our Dazzle Light shadow that we used to highlight, and I'm just going to tap that along the remaining area of our lower lash line. I know I'm going back and forth a lot between these different shadows, but hopefully you guys get the gist of what I'm doing. The girls in the fashion show really didn't have that much liner on their eye, if they had any at all. For really flirty lashes like I have on the other side, it helps to have a little bit of something in the outer corner of your eye to kind of accentuate that area. So all I'm doing is taking a little bit of the MAC Blitz and Glitz Fluid Line on, which is like not a stark black, it's a dulled down black with some gold shimmer, on my Studio Gear number 37 brush. And all I'm doing here is mushing it into my outer lash line. And you only want to focus it in the outer edge of your eye, so you can barely even tell that it's there. See how it just kind of adds a little something, but it's not like actual line of liner. And then you can just pull it out with the pointed end of your brush very lightly, and just kind of pull out a tiny line outward. So you can't even barely even see that. It almost looks like a lash. Smooth over that outer corner. Apply mascara. I'm applying 2 coats of the Lash Blast Fusion, and then apply some lashes. These are, I've talked about these before, these are the Ardell Duralash individual lashes in medium black, and they're really nice because since we're not using a lot of liner, it'd be kind of hard to hide a line of lashes, like a strip of lashes, into our lash line. I used probably about 4 or 5 of them and just focused them in areas where my natural lashes were sparse, and it really gives you a nice wispy kind of doe-eyed look. I applied some bronzer. This is NARS Laguna. Basically what I do when I apply bronzer and I want an all-over bronze look, much like the Victoria's Secret girls, I will make a backwards 3. This might be, well, it depends which way. It's just a 3 shape. So it goes like this, and then the bottom goes underneath your jaw. So you're just making a shape like that. And doing that helps to give you a really all-over bronzy look. And I'll show you a little trick for the blush. This year I really felt like they were going for more of a like youthful look with the models. The blush I'm using today is Pinch Me, and it's really gorgeous. It's kind of a corally, a warm corally color, but instead of starting so low on my cheek like I usually do, I'm actually going to just hold it sideways in a horizontal motion like this, back towards my temples, and as you can see, it's kind of higher than I normally apply it, and it's a wider area. So applying it that way gives you a really nice, fresh, youthful appearance to your cheeks. And applying it with a fan brush really helps too, because when you're applying blush to such a wide area, it could tend to get a little heavy if you're using a normal blush brush. And for the lips, I'm taking a really pretty pink color. This is Fanfare lipstick by MAC, and it's a cream sheen, and it's kind of like a pop of pink. And this is the color See Through. And this looks gorgeous on top of this lipstick. I absolutely love it. So that about does it for this look. I will be posting a bunch more holiday tutorials that I'm really, really excited about. So keep a lookout for those. Those will be coming at you throughout the rest of the month. And I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll talk to you all very soon.